Hey, it's Joe from VCam TV Studios. Before YouTube really just took over everything, to get viral content like your Frederick Fox or your Aicha Kid, you'd go to sites like eBaum's World. And if you wanted a cool cartoon, you'd go to Newgrounds.com. Newgrounds.com would allow animators to post up their own cartoon series. Newgrounds.com was like the Wild West. You could play a game of Seduce the Barfly. You could shoot Bob Saget or the Gap Kids. You could watch Mario breakdance, and you'd find creators that wanted to make their own cartoon series. Stuff that was edgier than The Simpsons. You could do more pop cultural references than a Family Guy episode. And they'd all have the outlaw spirit of South Park. For the longest time, I remember this being a big thing. Yeah, it's fruit with a clock in it, with that computer-synthesized voice.
Yeah. Now, we were willing to wipe your slate clean, clear your status of a crappy Flash animator, and give you a fresh start.
But that wasn't all Newgrounds had to offer. The site's creator, Tom Fulp, he curated content submissions. So if you were a talented animator or Flash game programmer, you'd be featured on their main page. And that is where I was first exposed to the 3 shows we're going to talk about here today. And then why these 3 shows remind me of a current project that's being made by content creator Ellis Mark. The 3 web series were Waterman, Tomorrow's Nobodies, and College University. So let's dive into these shows and figure out what a content creator like Ellis Mark can learn from people who also wanted to take their viral success and go mainstream. College University, created by Mike and Andy Parker. College University is a show about 2 friends, Mike and Parks, who are going to the local college, College University.
Yeah! Woo! College! College! Yeah!
I'm Mike, and this is Parks.
Mike is our straight-laced character, and Parks is the dumb one.
It's Parks and McNeil from your Intro to Science class. Oh yes, the dumb kid and the one who sweats a lot.
Though as the show progresses, it's actually more like they're both the dumb ones. You're Joey and Chandler on Friends.
Are you eating glue?
No.
Normally I frown on your stupid... Are you eating Scotch tape?
Pretty much.
Parks, everything that comes out of your mouth is stupid. But not this time. Let's do it!
Mike and Parks are here to enjoy that college experience. They're gonna day drink, party, they're gonna go to the student store, they're gonna game with the boys in the dorm, they're gonna flirt with co-eds, and they're gonna have classmates who are jive-talking aliens.
That crazy white boy wanted to show me how the walls are bleeding again. He said he wants to meet you now. Come on in, honky.
Gene Wolfe, and Bigfoot. College University didn't have the emotional arc. Nobody learns anything, and each episode had a storyline that was just kind of an excuse to tell more jokes.
I tell you, Mike, college life's the life I always wanted to live.
Wait a minute. I thought you wanted to live the life of a futuristic gigolo cyborg.
Huh?
You can kind of smell the Family Guy style influence that was going into every single Flash cartoon that was coming out during this time period. Now there's another show that I absolutely love about college that came out a couple years before College University. It's called Undergrads. Both shows were about the college experience, but in Undergrads, you can feel the main character Nitz develop and change as college went on. Nitz has a crush on Kimmy and gradually builds up the nerve and confidence to make a move. In College University, yeah, Mike has a crush on Sarah, but there's no real stakes.
Now I want to marry you.
Booyah! Going back to the party. And by the way, Sarah's there.
Mike has this view of Sarah like she's some demure woman who's super smart and out of his league. She's clearly not. She's not even really that smart. Sarah and her friend Allie think that Parks and Mike are the intelligent ones.
Well, knowing Mike, he's probably at the library.
Yeah, and he probably dragged Parks there with him, you know, to help him out.
Yeah, those guys are so smart.
So her judgment is pretty sus. How was she not tipped off to this when Mike, pissed drunk, stumbled into her room to ask her out?
That's no good, man. You gotta rest up for your big date with Sarah tonight.
Yeah, my big day. What? Hey, you can't stop me. I'm the courier. I'm the messenger. Yeah, well, you know me.
Sarah and Mike were made for each other, I guess.
Hey Mike, buy me some chocolates.
Yeah, sure.
Still got it.
I bet it's from all that dating advice that Mike got from the Macho Man.
Throw her against the ropes, get her attention, and when she comes back, wham! Hit her with the kick and she'll hit the floor. After that, she'll be yours.
There also seems to be a bit of a thing going on between Parks and Allie. These look like double dates to me. Don't go into College University expecting deep stories. This is a Flash cartoon from almost 20 years ago. We're just setting up funny jokes. The type of stuff that could never get on TV back then, but was perfect for the internet. Every interaction is just a setup to a joke, and oftentimes it feels like they just wanted to do some sort of topical reference, which, at the time these were being made, was the appeal of these Flash animations. It was just impressive that somebody could get close to the Family Guy style, while still being just some nobody who wasn't part of the Hollywood system.
Did Daniel-san ever question what Mr. Miyagi was teaching him?
Yeah, all the time.
Keep folding.
These shows had a real DIY approach. College University was also a school that taught monkeys.
Hey, did you guys see that monkey in the bathroom? Oh yeah, College University is the only university in the world to enroll both humans and primates.
Are the monkeys regular monkeys? Or is College University some Planet of the Apes-like future, and they have advanced monkeys?
So, what's going on, Lemur?
Maybe they're somewhere in the middle.
Mike?
This place has monkey professors, but the monkeys still seem to have their natural animal instincts.
What a shame. These humans will never know the joy of monkey physics.
I'm going to eat my pipe now.
Oh!
And this monkey kinda looks like the angry video game nerd.
Jerk.
Hey, there you are, Mike.
That's right, monkeys and humans were going to school together, along with child geniuses like the Indian character Pushpa, a know-it-all child prodigy that nobody seems to like.
Booze it up, little man. I'll pass on your domesticated malted hops. Alcohol's the nectar of the imbecile, and someone of my social status, not to mention superior intellect.
To be fair, he is kind of a jerk to everybody. Pushpa would even wage war against the monkeys.
Miss Indian kid? Thank you, ma'am.
Damn it, sir, I want these monkeys banned from College University!
And he has a legit point. They are distracting to his studies, and they bully him. But look at him. I side with the monkeys. And then we have the dean of this university. Instead of being the shut down the frat kind of dean, he's a party dean.
You kind of remind me of myself when I was your age. Except that I was a lot better looking, of course. Richer than a bastard. And for the life of me, couldn't stop getting laid. Ah, those were the days.
And then there was the leprechaun that would show up if you studied too hard and didn't get enough sleep. And you should never accept his challenge to leg wrestle. Shout out to all the people who procrastinated so long that they waited to the last night to try to cram in all that knowledge. Hopefully your leprechaun was kinder than Mike's. So this is going to be the first lesson for Ellis Mark. If you're going to make this cartoon, do not, as you'll see from these other cartoons, do not fall in love with the side characters so much that they get shoehorned into everything. Because it just sort of happens in every single one of these viral series. And with this one, they got obsessed with a character called Kung Fu Carl.
Whoa, man. You're scaring me.
Are you scared, White Ninja?
Yeah, I just said you were scared. White Ninja?
Still up to your old tricks, huh, White Ninja?
Kung Fu Carl was a low-rent VHS action star. The creators were kind of like, hey, what if Chuck Norris was a junkie? Or how can I make Steven Seagal jokes without making it about Steven Seagal?
Kung Fu Carl. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time.
You mean you know KFK?
Oh yeah, Carl and I go way back, but he used to be known as Old Kung Fu Carl. We used to be fighting partners.
His voice sort of sounds like Mike Nelson when he does Nick Nolte.
Hey, it's Nick Nolte Cam. Yeah, I woke up at the zoo again. What's your name, Birdie?
You'd even hear Kung Fu Carl's voice recycled again, coming from one of the characters on their next show, Clocksuckers.
Not always. Some days I just choke people to death. But most of the time I just sit here and plot out my next big move.
Hey DK, just a heads up, we ran out of toilet paper. I could only get through half a wipe. That's gross. Don't judge me, assholes.
And his escapades kind of come off like a pre-rehab Robert Downey Jr.
Check it out. Kung Fu Carl's barfing up a storm.
Kung Fu Carl would star in films like Death Ninja 5, and to make that seem legit, you get a real actress like Cynthia Rothrock to voice his old co-star. That would make you think, hey, Kung Fu Carl probably was a legitimate star at one point in this universe.
Hey, stop that, kids. Don't put your ding-dong in that toaster.
Who are you? Where'd you come from?
Oh, you know me. I'm Kung Fu Carl.
Now he's just sort of a train wreck who lives with his ninja co-star, Dark Ninja.
Hey DK, you want to watch Death Ninja 12 again? Or you want to go straight on to 13? Oops. I forget.
But they must have had a blast writing Kung Fu Carl stuff, because then they spun it off. Which is like, that's cool, but I thought I'm watching a show about bros in college. You can't just suddenly switch gears and just only focus on Carl's wild side stories, and animating them would have taken even more time. So their solution was a mailbag, where you'd only have to draw like 10 or so random images to match up with whatever they're having Carl ramble about. And that's what Kung Fu Carl's Animated Adventures is. And they pumped out 9 of these things. There was so much Kung Fu Carl that you almost wondered if they would have rather done a show about him instead of College University. College University didn't limit itself to just being about college. Nah, they took advantage of the holidays. They made holiday specials and holiday shorts. Not just your Christmas special or Halloween special, but Groundhog's Day.
I had a bit of a problem with this little a-hole. And by that I mean I wanted to shoot him and eat his face.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day blows.
Why, because you're a pathetic loser?
Well, yeah, there's that, but, you know, I'm always alone on Valentine's Day. It's depressing.
Thanksgiving.
It all began when the Pilgrims arrived to America in the Mayflower.
Hey, is that Kit?
No, it's the Mayflower.
All systems go, Michael.
Shut up, Mayflower.
And the study leprechaun would return for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, what do you think I'm doing here? It's St. Patty's Day, fool! It's like Leprechaun Christmas!
4th of July.
Everybody knows you don't play volleyball on the 4th of July. You play Kushlash.
Easter.
Oh, that. Sorry, I can't really control it anymore.
Though you always got the feeling that the only reason that College University would use characters like Mike and Parks so that their fan base wouldn't be like, hey, I don't care about this. Where's my new episode? Yeah, because fan bases can be demanding like that. Just kind of how it is. Because even today, if you try to branch out and make a different style cartoon, they're going to want the thing that you're famous for. And I guarantee that's what led to creator burnout with every single one of these series.
Oh, well, it's simple. Let me explain.
Mark, try not to let that happen to you. Our second series is Tomorrow's Nobodies. Tomorrow's Nobodies were a group of friends who liked to, I don't know, game. And honestly, I'm not quite sure what else they like to do together. The initial crew were Chris, the gamer, David, who was the offensive dumb one.
God damn it, David. Did you cock knock again?
Yeah, I did.
Ben, who was kind of our lead, and his character had a somewhat inventor personality.
A new invention, you say? Top secret? We'll be right over.
Hey guys, hold on a second. I'm working on my invention.
Well, you know how gas prices are getting real expensive?
Yeah?
Well, I invented a new carburetor, and it allows your car to run on water.
Wow!
And Eric, whose main personality was he was kind of the lead, but mostly that he was Jewish. And that sounds super offensive, but that was the show. That was literally what they were doing.
Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Eric.
And we're creators of Tomorrow's Nobody.
So you're gonna see a lot of South Park influence. David would be our Cartman and make the Jew joke, and Eric would take the abuse.
Okay.
I don't know, Agent Jew.
I'm Jewish.
You sure are.
Yeah, Jewish.
God, it's a giant wiener.
I bet you're happy, aren't you?
You Jewish.
You're
I've had enough of your Jewish jargon, you bastard.
No, guys, but seriously, it finally came today. The new G.I. Jew.
Boing. Now you're a Japan. The bear. You get Jewish bandits. Oh god.
David, what the hell are you doing? I'll save you. I'm Captain Judy.
He's not here to save you, you dirty.
You done yet?
No, because you're I hate you, dirty. Oh god, and the way you're wearing your stuff, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not. Because sometimes if I was, I might have to beat myself up. Because I hate it when
Ben,
like
can't
this
you
dirty.
do about
Look at them, they're all walking down the street.
Does anybody want to comment on me picking up a penny? David, I'm looking in your direction.
It's because you're a cheap bastard.
I mean, we'll save money.
Yeah, of course you would think about saving money, you dirty.
Hey Eric, what did Santa bring you for Christmas? Oh wait, that's right, he's not gonna bring you anything, because you're just a Jew.
I have a working theory that the reason Tomorrow's Nobodies rebooted their show was so that they could actively rid themselves of all the South Park comparisons. The Tomorrow's Nobodies crew seemed pretty aware of just how similar they were, and as we'll see with Waterman's controversy coming up, Newgrounds user base wasn't shy in voicing their opinions.
I love how he says "fuck you" to
you
me
guys?
twice.
I'm going. That's blatant South Park ripoff right there.
I killed Kenny.
Chris had the idea that like he would get like a shock. Like I would have it so he would get shocked whenever he tried to say.
The thing about that is it was way too similar.
Yeah.
To like the South Park movie, which.
Oh yeah, we can't do jokes anymore. The guy said it's too much like South Park, so we gotta stop that.
What? But I've been bashing the long before that damn South Park. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Tomorrow's Nobodies is another series that isn't really trying to tell a meaningful story, and all of their plots were just an excuse to make jokes. The boys have to find a new house. The boys go to an invention exchange. David has to time travel to the past so that he can remember how to not catch himself on fire.
Oh my god! Jesus! Oh, no, not my straight porn collection!
Tomorrow's Nobodies even had 2 different iterations. You can tell by the style of animation. As they became better animators, they tried to make the show a little bit more mainstream.
Tito's drawn pretty badly too.
We will never fix him.
No.
Never.
Well, we might fix his legs a little for the new one. We have the new one.
They toned down on the edgelord stuff. The Jew jokes, they got dramatically cut down. But they ran into a problem that I hope Ellis Mark doesn't. It's that if you have your friends all involved in making this creative endeavor, what happens when people stop being your friend or don't have time for the project? And that's what happened with Tomorrow's Nobodies. During the second run of the show, the Ben character was erased, and they added a new character, Chase.
Oh, this is us poking fun at Ben not being allowed to do amateur hour with us.
I'd recommend skipping through this whole part.
You skip and Ben will be castrated. You like that,
man,
Ben?
I was thinking the same thing.
Ben Saunders was a co-founder of Tomorrow's Nobodies, and he would animate alongside Eric Friedman.
I mean, the foundation of the show really came from Ben and Eric. We had collaborated on school projects prior to that. Ben was getting into animation. Of course, he was the one behind the Stop Go Animation project.
The original Tomorrow's Nobodies productions weren't even named Tomorrow's Nobodies.
This is basically the first thing we made as Tomorrow's Nobody, even though it says Slow Kids at Play, because that was kind of when we were trying to figure out our name.
Heck, according to Ben, the name of the show wasn't even their idea.
Evan from the original Tomorrow's Nobody band, he's actually the one who came up with the name Tomorrow's Nobody for the band, and we kind of just took it.
Ben and Eric had actually done the first episode of Tomorrow's Nobodies before David would ever become involved in the show.
And I knew that he and Eric were going down avenues like that, and they had done the very first Tomorrow's Nobody cartoon, which was maybe no more than 2 minutes. It was just a couple of jokes. I think one of them didn't have legs.
I was wondering why I was staring at your hands. Wait a second. If I have no legs, that means I also don't have... I hate you.
Looking back on it now, nothing all that special, But in 2001, before Flash was really taking off and you could just put a cartoon on the internet, that was mind-blowing.
What originally was a creative vision of Ben's morphed into The David Show.
And I just remember seeing it and I was like, holy shit, you guys made this? I want to be a part of this. I can write some jokes for you guys. Like, let's do this. And then next episode after that, the David character came into play.
David did the writing.
I came up with this one when I was really drunk at my friend's house.
The writing wasn't phenomenal back in those days. I pretty much took over the majority of the writing. And that's where Tomorrow's Nobody got a lot of its traction.
So all the good stuff and all the stuff that aged poorly, that's all him.
And I didn't care. I didn't care about good joke structure or just like really selling it. It was all just like quick jabs and joke, one after the other. And then it just landed. I mean, Tomorrow's Nobody started taking off on Newgrounds and kind of just muscled my way in there, if I'm being honest.
I remember at the time, the Newground boards were all like, adding Chase is what pushed Ben out of the group.
When I started doing Tomorrow's Nobody stuff, it was like, Ben drops out. He doesn't want to do it anymore. He was the old animator. And they're just like, Chase, you should do it. All right, I guess.
But there was crossover. Chase was working alongside Ben, making the first 2 episodes of the new rebooted show before Ben left.
I was just in class with him and, we'd goof off and I spent a lot of time fucking at his house just working by myself,
One of the things
I met the rest through there, and David was like, hi, I'm famous David, good to meet you. It's hilarious now, but...
Ben wanted to move on, and maybe I think it's because the show was no longer his creative vision.
My knee-jerk response is he was just kind of over it, but I mean, I can't really answer that question completely. I want to say that he and Chase worked on the first episode together. They were juggling that one back and forth. But no, I can't really pinpoint. I think it was just creative differences too, honestly. I think it just came to a point where he wasn't feeling it the same anymore, and then there was just creative difference. And after that, he was doing other projects with other mutual friends that were in other circles of mine. So he was still creating, but I mean, it's speculation, but I think he might have just been over Tomorrow's Nobody at that point.
So Ben's character was abducted by aliens and then shanked.
Wait a minute, folks. This just in. It would appear that the victim in the stabbing incident that I told you about earlier was not actually Robert, but instead another local man, Ben Saunders.
And you know the internet, even almost 20 years ago. Well, guys, spill the tea. Why's Ben really gone? Is there bad blood between you guys?
Martin Yes wants to know whatever happened to the real Ben. He fell out of a bloom. Lightning round! Lightning round!
Imagine this now, but with everybody on that show having active social media accounts. Then you could have the quote-unquote real story.
Asking about Ben.
Stop it! You could put some crying eyes over a picture of Ben, and then angry eyes over Eric and David, and then a question mark over Chase. And then you'd wonder, hey, wait, Chris wasn't in the last episode. Is Chris on the outs? Is there beef between him and David? Chase Siddharth is now the show's lead animator, and they're gonna slide him right into Ben's spot.
Until I started jumping in with the Tomorrow's Nobody stuff, which was already like going before I was doing anything. I was just like in physics class with Eric, and I would draw pictures and shit. And he would be like, that could be useful to me.
And they're gonna slide him right into Ben's spot. So if Chase is gonna do all the animating, might as well make him a character on the show.
This dude right here totally knows everything. We have to take him with us.
Chase fit in perfectly. He's dopey like the rest of the crew, but Chase is pretty one note. That one note is that he likes to get high.
Think I know what this is. I was right! Oh, how did you know? Chase?
Seriously, that's the big Chase joke.
You are a fucking moron.
Don't ask me stupid questions about how much I smoke.
I'm gonna smoke you up so good. Oh, man.
That's almost Chase's whole personality.
Hey, Pac-Man, can you help me carry in some of these groceries? Whoa!
Ooh, sorry about that, man.
I forgot I left the luggage by the door. Ugh.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Just try to be more careful. Wait. Luggage?
Since the series didn't continue much longer post-Ben, they never really got to expand on who Chase's character was. Chris is shown to be the most mature member of the crew, so was it like that in real life?
What the hell are you guys doing here?
Shh! You're going to wake up Chase!
This isn't gonna work. We need to get a bigger place.
What? You guys need to get a bigger place. I was fine just living here by myself. That's my grocery list. Did you take the money that was on the counter?
Not now, Chris.
Speaking of in real life, our real life Tomorrow's Nobodies, they look an awful lot like their counterparts.
You're a Jew!
Wait.
I thought we were gonna stop doing Jew jokes. Which one of you guys wrote that?
Jew, dirty. It was Chris.
Well, I refuse to end the episode like this.
Hold on. I got it.
The Tomorrow's Nobodies guys were just a bunch of jerk-ass kids who were living in Arizona.
Hey, I'm in Tokyo.
No, dude, you're still in Phoenix.
Yeah, once we finally settled in Arizona, I really grabbed a hold of that a lot more, especially in high school. That's where I ended up meeting with Ben and Eric of Tomorrow's Nobody before I'd even met Chase.
And before the show ever started, David was a natural entertainer. But being a natural entertainer got David into some serious trouble.
Age 17, I took a pretty severe blow to the head, so most of my life before then, it's a lot of still shots. Like, I didn't even want to be an entertainer for a career. I wanted to be a stuntman for sure. Like, I just knew it. So I used to, again, just go rogue and do my own things in front of friends, and I'm sure none of the videos exist anymore, but a lot of stuff got filmed, and I would just keep pushing the envelope. And one of the things I would often do is just hop on the hood of somebody's car while they were driving, and they'd speed around and whip donuts, and I'd let go and go flying off, and things were great. And there was one instance where my buddy, he took a turn real quick while I had a terrible hold on his car, and I slid off his hood, and I flew like facing the windshield, and this is what I'm told, my heels hit the ground, and then momentum just kept me going, and the back of my skull cracked the pavement, and I don't even remember that day. And then it's just like weeks later outside of the hospital, and pretty much the majority of my life before that, just a few snapshots. Like, I can tell you where I was and if I enjoyed it, if it was bad, but I can't give you fine-tuned details.
What? It's so peaceful. Am I in heaven?
Let's go get some free cookies!
Wait a minute. I didn't know Jews were allowed in heaven.
Tomorrow's Nobodies, to me, going back to all three of these shows, has the most amateur feeling of the three. Early on, it seems like the creators just didn't have their own comedic voice. They were still young, but they'll get there. Instead of having genuine creative moments, it just feels like stuff that you saw the bigger cartoons already do, and that's what brought along that South Park comparison. Which isn't the worst thing, especially when these things came out almost 20 years ago. South Park was the big hip thing. Making a second version of Tomorrow's Nobodies was the perfect step for them to go. You can feel them finally figuring out how to tell a cohesive story, while at the same time still keeping that style of humor that got their original fans. They could still be offensive, but now stuff will actually happen in these episodes.
Lightning round!
Lightning round!
Lightning round! Yeah!
There was collaboration among all of us as well, but watching those old episodes, I was just off the chain.
Which is another lesson that I think Ellis Mark should take. Try to figure out what your voice is. That way nobody can be like, oh, you're just this cartoon, or oh, you're just this show. Though, if I was to counter my own argument, when I went to the old forums to see the reaction to new Tomorrow's Nobodies, yeah, people wanted the old show. They didn't want cohesive stories. They didn't actually want better animation. They wanted bootleg South Park. They were mad that the Jew jokes were gone.
If you're not gonna say anything, I'm gonna talk.
Yeah.
Okay, this part's kind of boring in here.
Oh, don't say that!
Because, well, I'm explaining why it's boring.
It's plot
It's
development.
not boring, though. This is it for this
This is TN Series
episode.
1.
Okay, I mean, there were some people who were fine with the new style. They even said it had a bit of a TV polish to it. Okay, if you ever wanted to feel something that could not be made today.
And then Eric gets cummed on.
No, it's milk.
No, we all know the truth.
Or it's slobber.
Yes! We can go watch Full House. That show is sweet! Uncle Jesse, he's so hot. Wait. Shit, no. Shit. I'm not gay. I love Holly.
Peak 2K comedy.
Look for Eric's legs in episode 2.
Does that mean I get a penis too?
Oh, no, I'm not drawing any penises.
Oh. Hey, that's my girlfriend.
No, that's my girlfriend. And I play football and I like group showers.
This was peak comedy in the aughts.
Oh, and apparently to get ratings we need a gay character.
So who are we gonna get? You bastard.
My dog died? Grandma's sick? I'm in a coma? And I'm gay?!
Dick's beer will bring any man to his knees and have him begging for more dicks.
You're gay was every single punchline.
Ding, ding, ding! Mike asks, Dear Chase, why do men love boobies so much? Mike, what are you gay? They're boobies! Right.
So you mean I actually had sex with... And all along you were never really a... And those were your balls hitting my... And I licked that? Oh my god! April's not even for 3 months.
Look at the camera and say I felt the man.
Huh?
Yeah.
You ever hear how the bros talked to each other back then? It was like this.
Damn it, David, come out of the closet.
I can't.
Just come out of the closet, man. It's a lot better on the other side.
Yo dicks be the best, Satan. I love yo dicks. You take dicks like a little girl. But I take dicks like a man.
What a you came out of the closet. Ben, you saw it, he came out of the closet.
It wasn't even malicious. It was just dumb.
Let me tell you about Eric, though. That kid loves penis. My god, does that kid love penis.
Where would you be if you were David?
A gay bar.
No, seriously, where would you be if you were David?
A gay bar.
You wouldn't be at a gay bar.
Flamers! I wonder if somebody in there can help me out. Could somebody please put out my fire? Oh my god.
This wasn't even meant to be edgy. These were just jokes that you'd hear on mainstream projects like Chuck and Larry.
You were in jail last night with dudes.
But he had soft lips and long hair. You would have done it too, bitch.
Silence the... How do you play that?
I recently saw a review where they said that 90s show just didn't feel authentic to them. And the reason was because if this was a real friendship group in the 90s, you would have heard them insult each other by saying, "You're gay." No, you're gay. Yeah, that's true.
Are there any pools where you haven't harassed a cripple?
Yeah, at the YMC gay pool. I painted an ass on the bottom of it and I teased everybody who would dive into the deep end. And I'll draw an ass on the bottom of the pool and tell you it's me. Yeah, I see the way you've been looking at me. Yeah.
I guess it comes off as hateful, but I don't think it was meant that way.
I'm a gay Jewish ballerina.
You sure are.
To further my South Park comparisons, you remember that episode where they addressed it? That it was used for annoying people, not as a bigoted slur? That's kind of what this is. Does it age well now? No, not really. But then again, who am I to judge a show that the animation was done so long ago that it could legally vote?
I mean, screw your ass. No, not ass.
Oh my god, do we really need to go find a gay guy?
And it would be ridiculous to just finger point at this one Flash cartoon. This was everywhere. Even something PG like Waterman had these type of jokes.
Sick freak.
Anything for you?
I'm no popsicle licker. And no, that's not a gay euphemism.
It's sashay, 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 double turn, tap, tap, tap. Oh, I swear with your powers combined, you're gonna give me some kind of brain tumor.
And yes, College University also did this.
But it was wonderful. Holy crap, it wasn't a dream! Whoa, wait a minute, what the hell is this supposed to mean? Did you and Mayor McCheese have sex? Yes, twice.
We share a room bed cause our place is small and we ain't got no heat. So cold. Had a long day of karate fight and then he'll massage my feet.
We go for strolls along the beach, walking hand in hand.
What?
If my love for you was a rock and roll song, you'd be the lead singer of my band.
We watch Brokeback Mountain 200 times, sometimes slow dance to Leanne Rimes.
Hey everybody! Look at me! Look at me! Okay. Now look what I got in the mail! Okay, now look at me again.
Let me guess. It's your coming out of the closet for dummies book. Yeah, this is by far the gayest volleyball sequence I've ever seen.
Really? Even gayer than Side Out?
You two think you could play the Lash better than me?
Something's telling me this one's not gonna work out.
No.
But again, remember the time and the place when this was made. Were there homophobic jokes? Sure, but like that episode of South Park, gay was just sort of used in the same term that you'd use the word lame.
Oh my god. He is such a homo.
Hello once again, gals and ghouls. That's gay. I'm not saying that. Start that over.
A pirate, eh? That's a little gay, Billy. I mean, why don't you just go as George Michael or Catwoman while you're at it?
Tomorrow's Nobodies was another show that made their own shorts. Sometimes it was jokes that couldn't make it into a regular episode. Sometimes it would be a holiday special. They were just simple little 2-minute concepts, and that's all it was. Tomorrow's Nobodies, like College University, they did the answer fan mail gag, and I get it. Why not recycle a little mouth animation to put out content? Heck, even the big boys like Beavis and Butthead would do that.
We've been getting a lot of letters lately. What are we gonna do with all of them?
On Newgrounds, the upload schedule was infrequent.
Our next cartoon is coming tomorrow, I swear, and then it comes out in 4 months.
Yeah. I remember the 12 Days of Christmas thing they did with the not TN4. I know that some...
It wasn't malicious when we started it, but that's how it is.
Hey David, what'd Santa bring you for Christmas?
I hope it's a bucket of mayonnaise. I hope it's a bucket of mayonnaise. Play-Doh! Awesome!
As we got into the early years of YouTube, Chase and David would start making their own live-action videos. The show was called David Forgets. The concept was, David would forget a very simple thing. A simple thing like, who's Chase? Or, David has a penis? Forgetting you have a penis? We've all been there. All these live-action segments, they easily could have been a cartoon gag, since it's just David playing that brain-dead character. And this is what killed off Tomorrow's Nobodies. They were having so much success with the show that Chase and David split off from the main crew.
Yeah, I quit. Good, go! We don't need you anyways! Chase, no!
And you gotta give them credit, these guys really tried to make a run at making this thing legit. They'd go to conventions to sell their DVDs and promote the show. But eventually, everybody went their separate ways.
Where are you going?
Battery's on my PSP today. I quit too.
Looks like it's just you and me. Yeah, Eric?
And finally, we have Waterman, another show relying heavily on 80s nostalgia, revolving around a bunch of 20-somethings who have no direction in life. Our main lead is Waterman. He's got a best friend pal, and a new neighbor moves in. His name is Clarence Thompson, who wears a trash can over his body and goes by the name Roybot.
My friends call me Roybot. So, no one calls you Roybot.
What? Anyway, I was wondering if I could join your little club.
I'm not exactly sure what Roybot is. Was he a real robot?
Prepare to lose, humans.
What humans? The bad humans?
All humans are bad.
Or was Roybot just a strange guy who went around wearing a trash can?
I can't believe you got such a beautiful day off work.
Well, you can thank the trash can for that one.
Dynamic is a trash can.
When the gang gets fat from eating too many bacons, Roybot has human fat. But then in this cutaway joke, when he fought a Rock'em Sock'em robot, yeah, that's a robot spine. Waterman is infatuated with the neighborhood ice cream girl, whose real name was...
You remember my name. It's Leah.
Leah Balloon.
Leah Balloon.
And I'm not sure if they ever quite figured out if she was going to be Waterman's love interest.
Hey guys, is there anything I can get you?
Oh, hey, how you doing? That's good.
Or she was really just a member of their crew.
Where were you guys today? I couldn't find you anywhere.
Has she always known Waterman? Or does she just kind of like hanging out with this group of weirdos?
I have the day off, so you guys want to go do something?
You are the sexiest thing since sliced bread. But it makes the ice cream girl look hot.
Is she the Penny to the rest of the Big Bang crew?
Boobies ahoy!
You guys suck.
Ice Cream Girl and Waterman have a complicated relationship.
Hey doll, you're giving me the screaming memes. How about we shoot on down to the juice joint?
She likes him, but more of in a just friends kind of way. But the moment he becomes quote-unquote hot, she suddenly finds Waterman irresistible.
Waterman, would you like to go on a date with me tomorrow?
Wait.
No amount of man-child speak is going to turn her off. Those eyes are just too majestic, to the point where she even ignores that it's Mr. Dillo and Pal in a freakish Waterman costume.
Why, thank you. And I couldn't help but notice that you smelled of dolphin faces.
Actually, it's a new perfume called Cadence. Do you like it?
But eventually, the illusion wears off the minute Waterman goes back to his old look.
Hit her with something. Physical abuse might do the trick.
Aw, I'd love a hug.
And don't encroach on Waterman's love interest. Or as the fellow web series icons found out, Waterman will drop the nice guy facade.
Well, thanks. It's good to finally get out and have an actual conversation. Waterman keeps us under pretty strict rules. And by strict, I mean...
Whoa. Wait, huh? Did you say Waterman? I think you just said Waterman. That crap.
You try to steal the ice cream girl from my little world. What is wrong with you, sir? And you! You're unbelievable!
Speaking of someone who switches between evil and good, we have the character of Mr. Dillo.
So, Mr. Dillo, welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you very much, dear boy. The new abode is looking quite smashing.
Who we actually spot in an earlier episode before he's formally introduced as Waterman's neighbor.
Mr. Dillo, who the hell?
Mr. Dillo just wants to be a good neighbor, but Waterman makes that impossible. So you can't blame the poor armadillo from becoming bitter and evil when he's survived multiple attempts on his life.
Well, when I first moved in here, life was sweet until one in the night. I moved in
Mr. Dillo does nothing but sweet gestures, and the entire crew treats him horribly. Not just Waterman, all of them. So you can completely understand when he attempts to kill them.
Mr. Dillo, what on earth were you trying to do? Kill us?
Yes.
Oh. Wait, what? Why?
You people have done nothing but bad things to me since I've moved in here to your little town, and all I've done are nice things to you.
Time to die.
And Waterman was also no stranger to the trope of a Flash creator falling in love with a new side character.
Okay, everyone cool out. Everything's gonna be fine.
Whoa, what's happening?
What? Give me a sandwich.
Okay, here's what we're gonna tell people. We are driving along and wham!
Wham!
We hit a duck.
The Mighty Ducks.
What?
Better yet, we hit the Mighty Duck because the Mighty Ducks hit us, rather.
16 Buttons of Justice would basically take over Waterman at this point. 16 Buttons of Justice were a fictional band in the Waterman universe. Ryan Waterman would even put out an actual 16 Buttons album on his website. Jitsu Jedi is a banger, okay?
Some people look at you and see a tight sound. I'm sure you keep thinking of Chuck Norris and Trail. Just keep your head up and think for yourself. Time is never ending if you never give up. Just look to your forefathers as they guide you to victory.
The band was a stoner raccoon and just another stoner, whose name was Devin Farmer. Stoner Raccoon had the last name of Espinoza, which will play an important part later on.
Wait a minute. Aren't you Raccoon X, Espinoza, and Devin Farmer from 16 Buttons of Justice?
Well, we aren't Raccoon Farmer and the...
At some point, all the creators of these series seem to fancy themselves as musicians.
I have a crazy neighbor. My neighbor's crazy too. Mine talks to his dog. Why is it crazy? His dog's a kangaroo.
There she's standing near her truck across the way. But she ain't selling ice cream today, so there's one thing to ask her. Don't just stand and stare, this dumpster does declare you want the ice cream girl.
I started this stupid band because a real band stole my girl. And if there's one thing they can't understand, is that we're here to rock your world. Well, technically she isn't your girlfriend. You had one date and you went home alone. I know this may be hard for you to comprehend, but you're as cool as Frank Stallone.
That's on top of being the writer, the actors, and the animators.
Stop your door, sit on your floor, and watch you while you win the power. It's this Pete, bitch.
Building a robot. We're number one.
Don't mess around, just cops a feel. Time and check with a motor of steel. 16 buses just down, rolling down the street tab.
This is gonna be so rockin' to the max.
They all felt the need to sing, to various results.
Cock, cock, knocking on heaven's door.
Hey, hey, hey.
Each year right on Christmas, us elves get overloaded. We work hard all day, the North Pole way, but this year's ain't excuses. We're gonna kill Santa Claus.
Some of these are kind of catchy earworms. I wonder what they were thinking. Is it because they saw The Simpsons sing the blues? That South Park was a musical? That Family Guy could be live in Vegas? So they, even though they're Flash cartoons, felt that they also needed to do it?
Oh, it would break my heart if gravy takes you apart. Oh, I know. I've only got one day, but I've just got to find a way.
And Waterman took a lot of flack as a Family Guy wannabe.
I don't know. My apartment seems to attract the dumbest people on the earth. Remember the guy who thought he was my father?
Your job, son, is to go into the dangerous cave filled with pitfalls and Decepticon forces and recover that Minicar. Me and Hot Rod will stay back here attempting to emulate Teenage Coelho.
I hate you.
This was the exact Family Guy formula. Remember when I... yada yada yada... Then you cut away to the pop culture reference.
Well, so much for the Rockin' Extreme board game marathon.
To be fair, it wasn't really extreme. Except for the extreme chutes and ladders. And that was only extreme because he added a chute to hell. Damn it! Wow, it's Speedy Gonzales. He knows my sister.
I know everybody's sister.
Of course, what do you think, I'm an idiot? Don't you remember last summer when I practically saved your life?
Hey little girl, I'm done snatching pig and egg baskets. I'm paying back my debt to society.
I really wouldn't call this a club. I've been in a club before.
Well, might I say this is very awkward. Follow our noses to the nearest exit from the loser.
And then the people who critique this type of humor always say, would this be funny if you didn't understand the cultural reference? And the counter argument to that is, it got the laugh, so who cares how it got there?
Name a fruit that is also a color. You said rice. Alright, you need instinct.
Bad answer.
Bad answer. Bad answer.
I don't think so, Tim.
Magic School Bus. Have you seen the children?
They have this intuition to cancel some of the greatest things for no good reason.
Oh, why do they always do this to me?
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we have decided to stick to our extreme ways and cancel the Alf show tonight. Keep on rocking.
No!
I think the words you're looking for are thank God. Well, we can't quite end this episode until you tell me what's wrong. Episode?
And by 2006, we were already at peak Family Guy burnout. That's the same year we got Cartoon Wars 1 and 2 from the creators of South Park.
Well, I think this first episode did pretty well.
Oh my god, they killed Roybot!
Meh.
Word.
A bunch of rolled socks?
Some rusty old clocks?
Gold from Fort Knox? A toaster? You serious? Kiss my Webbio's ass.
George, could I see you in the living room for a second, please?
If this wasn't your style of humor, you didn't have to watch. Brian Waterman said that he didn't want any competition between him and Family Guy. He loved Family Guy.
My parents don't pay $50,000 a year.
Right hand, death.
Do it.
Mr. Owl, I demand to know how many bacons. The world will never know.
Excuse me?
Uh-huh.
I think one of my swimmies has a hole in it.
Yeah.
Well,
Transform at the finish line, Clarence.
Hey, handicapped robots are people too.
Whoever invented gravity sucks.
Oh, well, if we're gonna be that way, never mind.
His detractors would point out that Waterman went very hard on the pop culture references. This being the mid-2000s, that criticism did get to its creator, Brian Waterman. Waterman would play off the Family Guy comparison, saying he's more influenced by the old TV show The Critic, the short-run John Lovitz cartoon.
See, all original characters and jokes so far. No one's being ripped off. Isn't that right, Wally Wonka and Gary Poppins?
Are the Oompa Loompas underpaid midgets?
Damn straight. Brian Waterman had a very contentious relationship with Newgrounds. Tom Fulp, Newgrounds creator, always treated Brian Waterman with respect and exposure. And this included his very own section on the website and front page exposure. But the visitors to Newgrounds, they wouldn't be as kind. I'm actually kind of amused at just how riled up these people were to White Knight for Family Guy. Damn, this guy even joked that being turned down by Cartoon Network and Fox may have Waterman, well, you know. Brian Waterman's detractors were quick to point out just how much of a hack they thought he was. An old interview from Matt Wilson of Bonus Stage implied that he actually was the one who wrote Waterman's pilot, and a good amount of the second episode. And this guy seems to imply that for animating all of episode 9, he only made a couple $100, which I felt was pretty low actually, even for the time period. Let's say that Brian Waterman paid $400 back then. With inflation, that's about $587 in 2024. And episode 9 was one of the better animated episodes of the run. So to get that for that cheap? Yeah, Waterman, pay your dues. In their mind, Brian Waterman couldn't take criticism. His show was a Family Guy knockoff, and he didn't even animate his own show. Back then, if you commissioned an artist, that was an unforgivable act. And even if they did accept it, the word in some of the forums was that Brian Waterman was a bit of a nightmare to work for, and he didn't even pay well. Brian Waterman did not help his cause when he pulled his show off Newgrounds to keep for his own website, claiming that he could make a lot more off his own website than giving it away to Newgrounds.com. Even giving Waterman the benefit of the doubt, his posts do come across as what the kids call butthurt. It's not fun anymore. Newgrounds is just gonna have to miss out on all the action. No wonder some people were like, go. Or they just outright mocked him. Don't go crying to Wade or Tom of Newgrounds when your feelings are hurt, or you want to come crawling back when your website doesn't get the views. Waterman went into the forums on August 7, 2004 to address a few things. Yes, Matt Wilson was involved, but only with episode 1. and Brian Waterman would never rip off any cartoon. And that his website does over 200,000 views a day. So if he left Newgrounds, it wouldn't hurt him. Also, he was only pretending to pull the show. It was just a stunt to get people to go to his website. Okay, dude, that's lame. But since there are still fans on Newgrounds, the show will stay. User Afro Ninja pointed out that Waterman gets front page features, and people would kill for that kind of exposure. The Deadly Spoon is like, why not stay on this site and drive the traffic back your way from all this exposure? But Waterman's comments would really irk this user, Mr. Happyface, who after a few back and forth exchanges was like, Waterman, you're full of it. You don't get 200,000 views per day. What was Waterman's problem? At worst, he was getting a little bit of pushback and some hate. But I didn't really see a need for him to be a big baby about it. Because there were Newground users that had his back. And either they were big fans of the show, or they just defended the right for the show to exist, even if they weren't a fan themselves. Plus, I would say, dude, if you wanted to drive traffic back to your website, yeah, make sure your website actually works for people to view that show. Our counter-argument is Brian Waterman saying he was cool with constructive criticism, but what you guys were doing, that's not constructive at all. There's one comment here that absolutely nailed it. They said that Waterman is a lot like Family Guy because Brian Waterman and Seth MacFarlane are both New England guys. And that's just New England humor. Which, yeah, I can confirm that.
Then sign up now for the 14th annual Boston Ping Pong X Tournament. Yes!
Honestly, I felt like Brian Waterman should have just treated all the criticism like water off a duck's back. Why argue with the people in the forums when there's a silent majority in the view count, you can clearly see it, that we're enjoying every episode? The real Brian Waterman ended up throwing up a white flag, no longer choosing to fire back at the haters, publicly apologizing for letting this all get out of control. He promised not to take the reviews so serious, and just focus on being an entertainer. Which is good, because when he was threatening lawsuits and leaving spite reviews, he just looked incredibly thin-skinned. If you asked me, it was kind of just two sides that should not have interacted with each other. I found that some of the criticism from Newgrounds users made sense. You don't need the website, why are you here? If you don't want criticism, don't put a product out there. Then again, I saw a lot of comments where it's just like, alright guy, it's free content on the internet, like, lay off. And then on the other side, it's like, Waterman, these people don't like you. You'll never win them over. Really, just stop poking at them. Thank the people who like what you make, and just don't fight back. You have people who really enjoy your content, like me. Waterman had plenty of people who enjoyed his cartoon. Was it like Family Guy? Yes, but it was also starting to develop its own style. I could tell what a Waterman cartoon was, and I understood Waterman's comedic voice, which is another thing I hope Ellis Mark takes out of this. Seriously, when you put out your show, you've already bashed so many other projects that those people are just gonna hate whatever you make no matter what, so just ignore it. The detractors are gonna be there. Who cares? There's gonna be people who like what you make. Focus on them. Because whenever I saw Waterman fire back, it did come across as thin-skinned. Even when I agreed with him, whenever he got defensive about being compared to Family Guy, I would think, did the haters hit a nerve because, maybe Waterman agrees deep down that, maybe he is just a Family Guy knockoff. Mark's gonna be in a similar situation. And to his credit, that's gonna be pretty hard because if you've gone after other people's work, well, now you're in the arena. You know how you may have attacked a cartoon that somebody else loved? Well, this is their comeback right here. They're so gonna be ready to make that video essay about why your cartoon is the worst cartoon ever made. So if you're gonna make a video where you talk about other shows having underdeveloped plots, well, you better fine-tune those scripts. If you make fun of a show for being void of humor, Well, you better have those belly laughs in every script. Just ask Doug Walker or James Rolfe. Waterman took a more novel approach to creating short-form content between his episodes, doing a series called Puppets in the Park, which was an animated Waterman doing a puppet show retelling of classic fairy tales.
Hi kids and welcome to Puppets in the Park. Today's story is about the 3 little pigs.
Waterman's side project of Puppets in the Park also got lukewarm reviews. This was Waterman's answer to putting out short-form content that could bridge the gaps between new episodes. It's Waterman telling distorted versions of classic fairy tales.
And Jack's like, what the hell? Alright, well I'll do that. So he gets home and he plants the magic beans and they grow into a ginormous beanstalk.
And while everybody is getting on Waterman about Family Guy comparisons, isn't this just Rocky and Bullwinkle's Fractured Fairy Tales? But whatever. I mean, I think the internet was right. This was fine. Yeah, fine. You got an occasional laugh from it. It's free content. What are you expecting? If I got a laugh, that's all I needed out of this. Why were people attacking Waterman? I don't get it. When the series no longer was being made, I didn't find as many passion projects from Waterman. It became more corporate work, which is fine. He did have a little bit of success with a Flash cartoon based on Halo. But as someone who's never played Halo, sue me. I can't tell if Halo 32, Halo 4 the movie, is a funny spoof or not. But it had to have done well for him, because there's 2 of these things.
What say you to these charges?
Home run. I did not commit these acts. It's not.
And they were animated by the same Daniel Rowe who did some work on Waterman. So Waterman couldn't have been too awful to his animators. These 3 series all had the same issue. When you make your own series, you're the one who has to do everything.
This is where we do most of our work. It's kind of messy right now.
Oh, messy as it usually is.
Yeah.
We have tons and tons of candy.
We got a lot of candy and Baja Cup up here. And
usually Eric brings men up here to screw. Yeah, I said it, Jew.
You're a liar.
On your
Stuff you need to do? Be your own voice actor. And then you gotta get friends to play the other roles. Can your friends act? Who cares?
Time to kick some Decepticon.
Decepticon? And what the hell are you talking about?
Honestly, we just need a girl's voice here.
Where's my son?
The fire instructor came in, and
Any girl.
Sit down and shut up. We're gonna watch a video that'll come in handy someday when you're screwing a blow-up doll and you set yourself on fire.
How you doing? You wanna go catch a burger sometime?
In your dreams?
Well, this is my dreams.
Well then, no.
I can't voice myself and the love interest.
Does anyone else think that Waterman's letting this whole pirate thing get to his head?
And the sound quality would be all over the map. A professional mic, that weird mic that would come with the old Gateway computer.
Whatever you say.
Yeah!
Alright, anyway, you wanna go watch some TV?
From Bilton Hadley.
America! 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 The not unbrutal!
And you need to stop sending those emails and stop faxing those goddamn pictures, because it's sick.
I mean, what was that picture? It said Happy Bear. There was no bear there, except for your bare ass, maybe.
And sometimes it would sound like they recorded in a cave.
Oh man, it's all coming at me here. Guys, is this funny yet? Is it funny?
These projects were so DIY that the people voicing them would leave in the audio where it's clear that they just blew out their microphone.
Sure they do. Nah, man. We's a bunch of bitches. I'm still cool. Nah, you's a bitch too. Ben!
Ben!
What? I still don't understand what you're saying. Are you with Megatron?
Or in Tomorrow's Nobody's case, straight up drop the microphone on the floor.
Just so you guys know, this wasn't weird sounds from our mouth. This was the microphone actually falling.
Yeah, I dropped it when we were about to record.
These animations came from very small crews. Sometimes it was just the one guy animating all this. It was just impressive enough to me that they could even draw. This was the internet, and I think people got that the DIY approach to these things was the charm. What you're watching was kind of punk rock.
Hey, that guy's pretty cool. Just give him some eyes or something.
He gets AI.
Oh, alright. Looks kind of like a fish.
The art wasn't pretty, but that's because they had no budget.
Chris has two nice dual computers. We should work here more.
Chris's hand's moving on the controller, but the controller is not moving.
I animated the controller moving, but it didn't.
It got fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm mostly self-taught. I don't know what they could have even really shown me because fucking Eric doesn't know how to use Flash.
So there's this guy, and
That's a guy?
yeah,
It looks like a rock or something. What the fuck?
okay, fine. All right, better.
Yeah, that's right.
I drew us like all in one sitting, and I just kind of drew Eric, and he ended up being really weird looking.
Yeah, even that little like part in my hair is stupid looking. I didn't even notice that before.
I didn't want to animate David's hand, so I just made his head knock on the door.
The people making it didn't have to play by any of the traditional animated series rules. This cartoon was made because somebody had the passion to make it.
You suck at animating.
Oh, yeah?
You may not know who the creator of your favorite TV show is, but when you watch these Flash cartoons, it kind of felt like you knew the actual creators. When their animation got higher quality, it was almost like, oh my god, I'm kind of proud of how these guys are getting more legitimate by the day. Like looking at somebody's before and after gym photos. The most consistent in their animation from pilot till end was Waterman. But as we established, Waterman was commissioning seasoned Flash animators to do his videos. That being said, even the first Waterman looks pretty rough compared to its finale. As these shows went on, the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 Hours is in full effect. There's a massive quality improvement in each one of these episodes. Earlier episodes seemed to be static backgrounds with only slight movement coming from the mouth. Then slowly you started getting more action sequences. You had more detailed backgrounds. Their movements were more fluid. I would even say that they aren't that far off from stuff that you see on today's streaming services. Tomorrow's Nobodies had the most extreme graphic changes. They even rebooted the show with an updated look. Our first run was very Microsoft Paint looking, but now they've improved. It wasn't just a mouth movement, but eyebrows would move. In revisiting these shows, with the improvements each of these shows made by the end of their run, I'm kind of shocked that Adult Swim didn't kick the tires on at least one or two of these guys. If they were doing hundreds of thousands of views back then, why wouldn't you try them at like 2 a.m. on a Cartoon Network? And based on future projects these creators would make, you could kind of see the style and look that some of these shows would have evolved to.
Watch me wail on it.
You think? I need to sweep the hallway for zombies. You coming, Super Keg?
Right behind you, zombie hunter!
Eric, you're drunk again?
Over the steps of your undying want to be murdered, I smell a challenge. Let's dance.
According to a forum post by Brian Waterman, Cartoon Network did actually want a long-form pilot of 16 Buttons of Justice. I wonder if that actually ever happened. And what would they have lost, really? Some copywritten song or two? Since it's the internet, they didn't have to worry about clearing music. Sure, it becomes a problem when you're trying to sell your merch later on, and many years later when you want to upload it to YouTube. But then, nah.
There's not actually blood on the windows.
The famous house where two little kids got raped.
Come back and zip it. Hilligan! The skipper too.
That monkey shit his pants. Here on Hilligan's
This one, we wanted to parody a show, but we didn't know what to do. And I always liked the Gilligan's Island theme, so we just changed a few things around.
Ooh, look at all the little boys in here.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and
Viva Las Vegas!
Jitterbug, you put the boom boom into my heart. You step my soul sky high when loving starts. You put the jitterbug into my brain. You can have your dreams. You're the best around. Yes. Who is the master? Show them.
pastel colors will remind you Jesus is right behind you. Celebrate our Easter holiday.
Now this is ironic since, you know, one of his biggest videos is about Family Guy. But please, Ellis, Mark, do not replicate Family Guy. Even back then, remember when? That was already starting to get overused. Wow, a random pop culture reference. Without having to worry about copyright, famous characters were just living among regular people, doing working class jobs. Tomorrow's Nobodies is the least guilty of that Family Guy style humor. David kinda had his own unique voice when he was writing for the show. But the biggest offender? Yeah, the Newground users were correct, it's Waterman. Waterman loved a good reference. Though all these shows seem to love having a Magic School Bus and Optimus Prime cameo. And I'm down with 80s references for days, and I get why back then it was really cool to do. You didn't have to clear any rights. They're on the internet. They can do whatever they want.
Oh, this is for anybody who's ever seen the old
David and I
cartoon.
wanted to parody Sonic for like the past month. We've had so many ideas. We could have gone on for like 2 hours with parodies for this stuff.
This is a blatant ripoff, but it's so good.
You're a blatant ripoff. It's not a blatant ripoff, it's a parody, damn it.
You're a blatant ripoff of death.
I said it first. Alright, shut up.
But
You shut up.
And as I'm watching these 15 years later, do the jokes still hold up? Is the joke funny because they mentioned the thing? Or was it funny without the reference? Does the reference feel shoehorned in? Or did it organically fit the plot? So maybe it's better to make an homage to the current pop culture thing, so that way it doesn't feel immediately dated. If you ever go back to the golden age of The Simpsons, that's what they did. Everybody knew Rainier Wolfcastle was clearly Arnold Schwarzenegger, but Rainier Wolfcastle can be a parody of every action star and cliche that comes along with them. So then when I watch years later, I'm not like, oh, that's an Arnold joke. I'm like, hey, that's kind of every action star, even the current one of whatever day I'm watching this. So Mark, I hope there's not a scene in like the first season where your cartoon mouse goes into a bar and sees every other famous cartoon mouse. And I didn't even hate the references. In fact, I liked them. I liked them a lot. I thought making jokes about Mace was like peak humor back then. I'm not immune to 80s and 90s baby humor, and College Humor did that. We all grew up with Bad Boy Entertainment. So, Mace jokes? Can't go wrong with a good Mace joke. I got a nostalgic feeling over these cartoons because they were made at a time when the internet was the wild, wild west. So you could say, do, or put out whatever you wanted. I mean, look at Frederick Fox. It didn't seem like content creators were worried about censorship. White guys would voice black characters, gay jokes would be made.
Lots of pretty girls walk by this way. When you see one you like, just jump out and grab her. What? And just shake her and slap her and say, I love you. Happy Valentine's Day, I love you.
Tara Reid is an ugly skank with herpes.
Gun violence was funny. You wouldn't have to worry about the stands if you were to pick on Britney Spears. You could drop the R word, and you could kill children's cartoon characters. It's just kind of what Flash cartoons were back then. And Tomorrow's Nobodies were the most willing to push the envelope. You knew that even then, this would never be shown on TV.
Hey woman, go make me a sandwich.
You want PB&J? Hell yeah, he wants PB&J. Bitch.
I've been bulking up just so I can fit into one this summer. Check out my titty, Spring Break 2005. Oh my god.
That is one huge ugly bitch.
Too many people would kill the joke before it made air. But if you put the cartoon on an open platform like Newgrounds, you could do whatever.
Merry Christmas! Chip, you can't say Merry Christmas anymore. It offends people.
Alright, well, what about Happy Holidays?
No, that don't work either. It offends people who don't like being happy all the time.
Jeez, I can't say that either. Well, then what can I say?
Okay, yeah.
Alright, well, what if we try this one?
No.
No, like
That's
that.
good. Okay.
Yeah, okay, alright.
Have an acceptable 24 consecutive hours.
Oh, and as far as I can tell, all these guys are the whitest of white boys. Anytime a black character came on screen, you got this. At best.
Oh no.
Here it comes.
Boom, 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 boom. It's the black guy. Everybody watch. Shh, silence. Oh man, that's been audio commentary.
Oh man, he's back.
And this at worst.
Look kids, it's a Negro. I bet he'd have some special trees. We're gonna get him, kids. Come back here, you silly Negro. I will beat you. You like stealing money from white guys who buy trees?
Was it offensive? I mean, I'm probably not the guy to be talking about this, but this all seems pretty dumb to be offensive to me. It's not like the lead characters on the show were portrayed as being the smart ones. Everyone looked dumb. What I'm saying is don't judge past stuff by current standards.
Ooh, guys, not making it easy for me to even say that when one of your episodes actually included footage of the Rodney King beating. Though the first season of South Park was also doing this humor, so... Tito was a muscular, naked black man who appeared as just sort of a one-note character in both versions of Tomorrow's Nobodies. Every kind of stereotype applies to Tito.
Gonna need an expert on fat white chicks.
I know just who to get.
So that's the plan, Tito.
Guys. But is it funny? Well, if you're going to accept all shock humor, this is in line with that.
Uh-oh, America. Here comes Tito. You've seen curves, you've seen tits, but if it's chicks you want, go away. We got black meat swinging on by.
Holy crap! This is sweet!
If this is not your type of humor, then this isn't going to work at all for you.
And I hope LS Mark has a team of people ready to illustrate with him, because I noticed that each one of these cartoon series ran into the trap of, we're popular, we know you want content, but there's only like a couple of us that know how to animate, so it's going to be really slow to get anything out there of quality.
Oh man.
David animated this at his house when I came to pick him up. I'm like, put it on disc, and we brought it over and made Amateur Hour 2 that night. Oh man, I animated the beginning.
It was in Hawaii?
It's like the first time I got to animate.
Eric animated all this. And that's actually the Uncle Jesse joke that's from the original AJ that you get to see on the DVD that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Dude, where's part 2 of episode 2?
I thought you were gonna make it. I was in California. You're a lazy bastard.
Oh yeah, I am a lazy bastard.
They just couldn't keep up with the demand for their content. They wanted to expand and create something even more professional. And then they put it out there. Hey, you want to create something for us? Help animate? Make backgrounds? And I'm kind of looking at this now and I'm like, well, guys, you're really fishing for people to be suckers and do the boring stuff. They don't get to create the jokes or voice the characters. You just want them to do the grunt stuff. I get it, but not that enticing unless you're paying. Unless maybe you hate being in front of the camera but love to draw. Perfect gig for you.
All 3 of these series would go looking for outside help.
And you gotta hand it to these guys. Even back then, they were able to reach out and get some notable names involved in the project. I became a fan of College University because Macho Man Randy Savage cameoed.
What the hell's Randy Macho Man Savage doing here?
Nothing. Just chilling. Right, Savage?
Chillin'.
Hey, we're gonna go watch Savage beat the crap out of KFK. You wanna come?
Ooh, yeah.
And the creators had to know how lucky they were to get Macho.
I can't, man. I got a huge test coming up tomorrow.
Come on, Sally. Studying's for suckers. How about you take off that skirt and watch that old man hit the floor? Oh, yeah.
Which is why even on their DVD cover, they advertise Macho Man. Macho Man memes,
no,
baby.
Seriously, Mr. Savage, I gotta study.
Oh, I know what you need. Hit it, Parks.
College University even got Cynthia Rothrock and the band OAR to provide voices.
You're Cynthia Rothrock. You were in Fast Getaway 1 and 2 with teen heartthrob Corey Haim.
Yeah, that's me.
Let him in. Come on in. Hey, what's up, guys?
So, how'd you guys like the show?
That was an awesome show. You guys rock.
Tomorrow's Nobodies got notable internet celebrity at the time, Maddox, to do a voice, which must have been easy because they were going to the same conventions.
Hello, sir. Would you like to buy some weed from me?
Yeah. I've been known to tame the dragon in midday. Alright, matey. It'll help me cope with the pain of my wooden leg.
What wooden leg?
Arr!
Holy wooden penises, Batman!
You're not my sidekick.
I wonder what a Flash animator's cinematic universe would be like.
Here's your pizza. Yeah, that's all you do all day long. You kind of and he sits over there like a piece of shit, and he's stupid. You can even tell.
Oh, hey there. Good afternoon. Well, I'm glad I found the right house. We need to have a little chat. Number 1, the name is not Waterman. It's Waterman. You don't see Spider-Man going around saying, "My name's Spider-Man." Well, I guess you do.
But to get a big celebrity involved, you basically had to promote their music or their current project. If you want Real Big Fish to be on an episode of Waterman, well, you're making a music video for them.
Whoa! You guys are Real Big Fish! We totally stole your music and used it for our theme song.
Well, we aren't not Real Big Fish.
You want Macho Man? You gotta play tracks from his rap CD.
Okay, guys, let's take it from the top. And Rylan, try not to sound like total crap this time, okay?
Oh yeah, I'll show you crap. Yeah, that's right, I went there.
They would have their own setup at Comic-Con. I thought viral celebrities were a new thing, but nope, it's been going on for a while. You could go see Maddox, Tom Falk, Tomorrow's Nobodies, College University, Cyanide and Happiness, all side by side. Even filming together. Did you ever want to see the real David from Tomorrow's Nobodies get shot in the balls? An event that the San Diego Comic-Con wouldn't even let them film in the building. And if you're one of those lost media finders, the very last role that Leslie Nielsen ever recorded for was the Waterman movie.
There's a fine line between adventure and insanity. And I've done that line so many times I should be in rehab.
Brian Waterman tried to make the show into a feature film, and he got Leslie Nielsen to voice the character Reddy Espinoza.
Are you ready?
I was born ready. Reddy Espinoza.
Remember earlier when I said we'll come back to the last name Espinoza? Yeah, is Leslie Nielsen's character the raccoon's grandfather? Father? We can't let this become lost media. Waterman, if the Kickstarters keep failing and you can't get this done, make it an audio play or something. Don't let it become lost media.
And oh yeah, we're being attacked by a giant sea monster!
My God! He just bought those shoes! Don't worry, lads, I'll save you.
And yet, people really treated these like they could be on TV. That this was just as good as something they would have saw on Adult Swim. Something about these shows resonated with people. These cartoons were some kids' childhood or teen years. I remember when I was at my first job, and my friends at work and I would brainstorm how to make our own cartoon. And I'd love to say it was some great original idea, but it really just would have been like a combination of these three shows, but it would take place in a grocery store. And two of my friends went as far as buying those tablets that you could animate on back then. So if you wanted the mastered episodes, these guys made DIY DVDs with extra bonus content.
Ben and I are trying to do some work. Ben, look, DVD. We're working on that right now, isn't that cool?
Well, you guys could start an internet cartoon series and maybe sell, t-shirts, DVDs.
So I may pirate a Disney movie, but I'm gonna support Mike and Parks. They deserve a couple bucks thrown at them.
Man, I can't believe everything here has the university logo on it.
This was the equivalent of the punk band who sells the CD out of the back of their car.
Over here tomorrow's No Way DVD? Yeah. Check out today, man.
Guys, come on, we gotta get ready for the thing tomorrow.
Nobody's episode 5 now available on DVD.
No, but guys, we gotta get ready for that thing tomorrow.
Nobody's episode 5 now on DVD.
You guys should all buy our DVD.
Unfortunately, it seemed like whenever one of these shows would take a year off between episodes, that was the end. And the sad thing was, the last episode was always the best looking one to date. It might have been when the creator realized that they outgrew the original series, that now they know how to make a show, and this old show is probably as big as it's gonna get.
When's TN6 and TN7 coming out? Well...
And that's the end of Lightning Round.
Lightning Round!
It seemed like all these creators now had bigger ambitions. These shows were like training wheels, and now that they got more experience and more knowledgeable about how to create a cohesive cartoon, one that had actual structure, one that they could make a living off of, these were now gonna take a back seat. They were gonna take longer and longer to be released. It was almost like they now were implemented some sort of quality control. And it's a shame too, because the final episodes of all these series were some of their best work to date. The web series of David Forgets seems to be why Tomorrow's Nobodies came to its end. Like when Ben left because the show was no longer his creative vision, David found his comedy to be more in line with Chase's, and was no longer gelling with what Eric wanted to do.
We started doing David Forgets, and it was me and David kind of figuring out our own selves and our own way about doing things that maybe wasn't gelling as much with what Eric liked to do, so it was kind of a breaking off point, and maybe a little contentious for a while there. Shit, it happens.
But I mean, as far as just like a pivotal point, I think it was just a build-up, honestly. Like I had said before, I was off the chain with writing with Tomorrow's Nobody, and it was a lot of quick jabs, just get quick jokes. And I think that mantra just went on too far. Like, I was tired of it. And when Chase came in, his writing style was a lot more thoughtful, creative, and to me, it was hilarious. Like the jokes just had a lot more depth to them, and I really enjoyed that. So I started partnering with him a lot more, and yeah, I just got over the formula that we had fallen into, and I feel like Tomorrow's Nobody, even when we were disbanding and doing David Forgets, and then eventually went off and started doing our own projects, I felt like it stayed with the momentum that I wasn't happy with doing, and that's pretty much why we got out of it. Or at least I can say I was happy to leave because I was doing other projects that were more creatively fulfilling for me. Like I feel like the momentum that Tomorrow's Nobody had, I had ran my course with it, and I needed to do something else.
Ryan Waterman runs, or at least as of 2014, ran his own animation studio, where he'd work on things like Richard Scarry's Busy Town app games.
What happens to all the spaghetti that people don't finish eating?
We throw it in the trash.
Excellent. I will have all of that trash the spaghetti is touching.
I propose a toast to love at first sight.
What's up, inner tubes? Welcome to another edition of B-Dubs Unboxing. Today we're gonna take a looky-loo inside of one of nature's greatest wonders, the egg. The foil seal. Now, what I think is most interesting about this new venture for Pringles is that inside is not chips, but 2 pancakes.
Eric Friedman became the sole owner of the Tomorrow's Nobodies brand, and he's made it into a legit business venture. He does animations for famous stand-ups, and also does a podcast called Two Dumb Babies.
We just took like all of the murder that happens in America. It would only take us like 2 weeks to kill all of our billionaires.
Try me. The only thing guns reform is my dick. Laughing and smiling.
It looked like at one point, Eric tried to bring back a Tomorrow's Nobodies cartoon with a whole new cast, but I couldn't find any of the episodes on their website or on Newgrounds.
Air holes?
Yeah, so it can breathe, silly.
And without David, is it really Tomorrow's Nobodies?
Hey Eric, do chicks dig scars? What? Do chicks dig scars?
Oh, dude, what happened to your arm?
Well, off the bull, you get the horns.
Was there some sort of beef between Eric and David? Not according to this interview from David.
No, I mean, I still talk to all the guys. It probably goes in order. I still collaborate with Chase regularly. I talk to Chris from time to time. He's active on our Discord. He comes onto our streams. We chat there. And it's been a couple of years now, but Eric, when he's around town, because he's out in California, but when he comes back to visit family or if he's doing stand-up gigs out here, we'll hook up from time to time and just chill. So, I mean, there's no bad blood among any of us that I can think of.
Eric Friedman was even an executive producer for a pilot called Court Ordered.
We met Eric through stand-up comedy, created a show based around his stand-up and his life.
I'm Eric and I'm a drunkard.
Hi, Eric. Hey, Eric.
Hi, Eric. I'm glad you're here.
Kind of gave me some Ren and Stimpy vibes. And they were trying to launch this thing through a fundraiser, but it didn't end up reaching its goal. Speaking of failed campaigns, Brian Waterman really tried to get the Waterman movie to happen. And from what I could find out, Leslie Nielsen recorded his whole part. And I wonder if we could get more eyeballs on this movie. And maybe we can convince Brian Waterman to release this thing as an audio play. Or at least show us the storyboards with the matching audio. Just show us the movie in whatever state it's in. And what about College University? They do anything else? Yes. Everything.
College University would end, and they'd begin the series Clocksuckers on College Humor's website. But don't say you love it too much, because one time during a live marathon stream that they had, I asked if the show was coming back, and one of the stars of College Humor at the time, Sarah Schneider, she made fun of me. Like, it was not cool to like Clocksuckers. I even found out that there was a pilot pitch to MTV.
This is Ben, Kate, and Tanner. They are idiots. This is the time machine Ben inherited from his crazy dead grandfather. Now, these idiots must use this machine to save the world from evildoers. Just kidding. They use it to get laid or whatever. They are the Clocksuckers.
What's up with the bathtub?
Oh, this is the best part. You ready for this? It's a goddamn time machine.
Mocking Sonic? What a good idea.
So, how long you been a meth head?
About 16 years. Keeps me moving. Look, help me with these rings and I'll get you back to your world. Hey, check this out. Hey, look at him picking them up.
That could be a whole show. A hit web show called Sonic for Hire, which is currently on its 9th season over at Dorkly. And you can find it on Lowbrow Studios' YouTube page.
Wait a minute. College University is Lowbrow Studios. Lowbrow's like everywhere. I've seen it on actual TV shows. The WWE, they do stuff with Lowbrow.
And he kicks the rental car. I think he forgot that the rental car's strong, because he went boom, boom, falls right over his rental car 2, Gallows 0.
And we did a Christmas card for them, and it was just all the wrestlers at the time, like hanging up streamers and stuff, and there's a Christmas Carol playing. And
was that Chase from Tomorrow's Nobodies animating for Lowbrow?
I'm an animator most of the time. I've worked at Lowbrow. I mean, not at the moment, but I worked 10 years on stuff like College Humor and Cyanide and Happiness. I've done a ton with, and just all over the place, you know. At the moment, I'm doing a monthly original for Lowbrow. I've only had one out, that Video Game Hospital, but there's another one coming like tomorrow. But yeah, those are, me and David kind of sit down and write those, so we get those out.
What the hell? Whoa! My bad. Did you know those guys?
Yeah, they're total pricks, though.
Oh, rad! Hey, so, do you party?
Well, that depends. Birthday party or slumber party?
No. I got uppers, downers. I got an ecstasy bubblegum psilocybin mushroom pizza. You love it, dude.
Well, you only live once.
And that's David's voice.
Worked with Cyanide and Happiness or Explosum. The guys over at Lowbrow. I've helped out with some of the other solo projects we did. Like we did Mega Man Dies at the End for Machinima, which that entire series is up on Lowbrow Studios YouTube page right now. I love that project because of just how it came together and how much crunch time it was, and the hindsight that came with it, and then leading up to just the last like 3 episodes of it, which are phenomenal. The last 3 of them, Chase and I, we knew the show was canceled. We knew we only had 3 more episodes. We went crazy with it, and I think it was an eye-opener too. It's like, all right, if I ever have the chance to work on another project again that is our own, I want it to be this zany. I want it to like just have this general cadence, this flow, because they just work so good. And then we did get that opportunity with Unexplained, and I feel like a lot of that did transfer over to it. And collectively, that show is just, it's fun.
Oh wow, when you're a Newgrounds animator from back then, you're an animator for life.
Hey, I'm Chase the Darth. I animate on the show. Also the voice of the best character, Frank, the giant space slug worm guy. I also did other popular characters like a troll, Link's homophobic angry uncle, an Angry Bird. I also made Mega Man Dies at the End with my buddy David.
Hey Sonic for Hire fans, I'm Brian Waterman.
That's Waterman!
I did a few voices. Star Fox was one of them, Luke Skywalker, Popeye was one of them. The list goes on and on. Mainly by one. Peppy from Star Fox, that was the other one.
So those were 3 classic Flash animation series from the golden days of Newgrounds.com. Early pioneers in this space, and you kind of think if they would have came along years later, who knows? Maybe the amount of views that College University and Tomorrow's Nobodies and Waterman got would be enough for a network to want to take a shot at it. They were getting viral numbers back then for original content. You know somebody now would take those numbers a lot more seriously. So what lessons can we apply to Ellis Mark's new project? Pop culture jokes don't age great most of the time. You're probably better off to make a caricature that you parody instead of just naming the celebrity. Family Guy cutaways are played out. If a famous band wants to collaborate with you, don't base the entire show around them. Your fans will hate it. Mixing friends into your animation for major roles will always come off as a bit awkward. Please, tell a freaking story. The best episodes of these Flash cartoons were the ones with the most cohesive narrative. The best jokes are ones that match with the plot's overall theme. Mini episodes are great ways to keep your character in the public eye while still working on a major episode. Have an overarching arc for your show, since these ones didn't. It'll help keep your show grounded. Don't get wrapped up in detractors. It didn't work for Waterman, it won't work for you. Just, if they hate it, let them hate it. So Mark, sincerely, I hope you do great with your cartoon. I know what it's like to try to put out a cartoon, and it's a lot of work. And it looks like you're trying your hardest. To College University, Waterman, and Tomorrow's Nobodies, thank you for the content. As dated as some of it is, you guys tried your hardest, and I appreciated that. And you provided tons of quotable stuff, and you really made it seem like, hey, I could also make my own stuff, because these guys did. And especially Lowbrow Studios. Can I do a voice? Seriously, can I do a voice? Hey, if you like this video, I reference a ton of stuff in it, and Frederick Fox, I Eat Ya Kid, and a playlist of other stuff.